And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week. We're taping this on Thursday afternoon, and lo and behold, another Democrat has joined the presidential sweepstakes for 2020, announcing his candidacy this week. Seth Moulton, a relatively obscure congressman from Massachusetts, said he's in the running for president, joining 20 or so serious Democratic candidates. There are actually over 200 that have filed with the FEC, and it's up to the media to tell us who's serious and who's not. But Moulton's in now. Oh, you thought I was talking about Joe Biden. He's in too, he says today, announcing with a videotaped thing that he's a candidate for president. You know, Joe Biden starts with a lot of advantages, although that tape didn't necessarily show them all. I thought it was relatively weak. Neil Kinnock, I don't think, had anything to do with writing it, but we'll check that out later on. But Biden starts with some distinct advantages. He has the name identification. He has the support of many of the superdelegates and some of the party's establishment already solidly behind him. He doesn't have Barack Obama's support, though, by the way. He says he didn't really want it and told the president or former president to stay aside for a little while. If you're buying that one, you're buying a lot. But anyway, Biden himself is now on the track, and in my judgment, it may actually be his high watermark, because with all of the advantages that he brings, there are some serious downsides to the Biden candidacy. I mean, first of all, the gaffes are going to come up. They're guaranteed to do that. Those that don't come up this cycle, the ones from previous years, will be resurrected, et cetera. And we'll see how all that plays. I don't think in the end that's anything more than Saturday Night Live stuff and comedies for the late night television show hosts. But there's still that element in there. What I think is more difficult for Joe Biden is that structurally he's got some problems. He's still old school in a variety of different ways. Not only is he the second oldest Democrat running, only Bernie is older, but he's got a style that reflects back to his earlier days of campaigning. And losing that internally is difficult to do, particularly with fundraising, for example. I mean, here's a situation where he's getting in late. Certain campaigns have mountains of cash already on hand, big war chests and growing, and Joe's going to have to start out from square one, and he's going to do it the old-fashioned way with event fundraising and that kind of stuff. It just takes a long time to ramp up. He's not terribly socially media savvy and hasn't really fully comprehended the digital world, so his style of campaigning may be a problem in addition to some other things. His first campaign stop, a fundraiser at the home of David Cohen, one of the top execs at Comcast, and certainly somebody who's a go-to guy in the Democratic Party for campaign finance help. But again, an event, etc. Incidentally, David Cohen and Comcast were the ones that told Kate Smith she could go. Why? Because 80 years ago, she sang some song that today is deemed racist. It's unimaginable for Philly Flyer fans and others. The Yankees are having the same problem, that Kate Smith was shrouded first. You know, knowing Philly fans, they tore the shrouds down and went with the statue itself, so they took the statue out too. But Kate Smith, who was so much a part of the heart and soul of that team, is now gone, banished to the sidelines because of something that she did almost a century ago. God bless America. Because what's very interesting is we don't hear much about, for example, Jimmy Kimmel, who dressed in blackface to make fun of Karl Malone and who put on blackface and sat on a toilet pooping cupcakes to mock Oprah Winfrey. We don't hear too much about the virulent anti-Semitic rhetoric of some of the Hollywood left and some of the things that they've done specifically with the divestiture movement against Israel, etc. You just don't hear that stuff as being not within the PC crowd. That's something to watch, because it's going to be an issue in 2020. It's going to be a cultural issue for some time to come, and it's going to be something you want to carefully watch. The polls, meanwhile, we're going to get back to next week, because as Biden enters the race, those polls will shift, because what they're currently reflecting more than anything else is basic name identification, and that will change overnight almost. I mean, Pete Buttigieg, the mayor of the 300th largest city in America, has vaunted in the polls. Nobody heard of him 6 months ago. And you'll see that happening in a variety of different places as the Democrats jockey for position. So for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.